Hello and welcome in. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. For today's reading, we are going to discuss the looking glass, and I believe that's from Alice in Wonderland. But there's this sense of feeling like you're in the looking glass or outside of the looking glass and you're looking in. And inside is the matrix, the old system, the old ways of doing things, your old self, your old template, your old avatar, if you will. And you are on the outside of that, and there are still some people on the inside. And so there seems to be this rift or this perceived separation between being inside and being outside of this looking glass. So I want to talk about this because there's feelings of detachment that are coming up right now for the collective. There's feelings of loneliness, feelings of abandonment, soul loneliness, soul abandonment. A lot of feminines are expressing this lonely feeling. So I want to talk about that, and I wanted to pull some cards to see if I can help you and help us in getting through this period. Now, part of this is the ego dissolving and those last fragments of the old self or the old ego, the old identity dissolving. So we continue to go deeper and deeper into this identity shift. Almost every private reading that I've been doing recently, what we're finding is that people are moving through this significant identity shift, right? And this is going to show up in different ways, depending on, the North Node, Uranus, Mars conjunction, and where that fell in your chart, what house that fell in, how that's affecting you for the next 15 years. It's a big conjunction with big, big consequences and ramifications. And so it's good to know about that. But we also have, Mars and Gemini. Which is interesting. We have the eclipse season coming up here. We have the autumn, equinox coming up, which shifts things. And, we're in Virgo season. We're going to head into Libra and then Scorpio and so on and so forth. So we're heading into the darkest months here in this part of the hemisphere, in this part of the world. And this is significant for many, many reasons. So if you guys are finding yourself feeling quieter and going within, there is a reason for that. So soon here, I'm going to pull out my Halloween deck. Probably actually maybe today because I'm super excited, even though it's super balls to the wall, still hot here. I'm dreaming of fall, and I'm dreaming of cooler weather and apple cider and sipping it by the fire. So I want to bring that coziness into the readings. Lastly, if you'd like to support me, you can do so over on Patreon. I offer extended readings over there for some of the readings. I offer written readings over there. You can also purchase readings from me on my website, and you can just watch the videos. That's one way to support me, watching the videos, sharing the videos, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, liking a video. Those are all ways to help me not only boost my channel, but also help the people, with YouTube's algorithm, the people that need to find the content, able to find it. So I do have twin flame readings available. I do have different horoscopic astrology readings available. My most famous is my North Node reading, the infamous North Node reading, and South Node, which is really my favorite to deliver as well. But I have several others that are very significant. And then I'm going to be offering eclipse readings coming up here. So your private eclipse reading, as well as we can look into your connection. And I am starting to offer those Mars-Venus readings again. So what we're going to do is we'll look back to where, last year, August 2021, when Mars and Venus were exactly conjunct. And they were also conjunct in February of this year, but last year was special. July of last year, actually, excuse me. So we'll look into that. We'll look into past energy, current energy, future energy of the connection in the Mars-Venus, of course, relating to the feminine masculine. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Very happy to be here. Hopefully you are having a great start to your week after the holiday weekend. And we're going to start actually with a yogic path. I think they want me to bring in that Halloween deck, so I'm probably going to bring that in here in a moment. But I'd like to get an overall energy here for this looking glass theme that we are moving through right now. This looking glass theme for the collective. What does this mean? How is this playing out? The looking glass theme for the collective spirit. The looking glass theme for the collective. So Spirit is talkative this morning. Ohas, Anahata, the heart chakra, that fourth chakra, heart center, and Buddhi. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at the, let's see if I have, I don't have, okay, I'll have to get the Halloween deck. So let's talk about the heart chakra. The heart chakra expanding and opening. We can only do that if we separate from the ego, right? If we step into a greater consciousness, a deeper state of being and consciousness. And with the heart chakra opening, this does not mean that we don't have healthy boundaries. This does not mean that we blur the boundaries, especially with a counterpart or anybody in our lives, parents, friends, etc. This means that we live from the heart, right? We speak from the heart. We deliver from the heart. And we are operating less from the mind. So there's a detachment from the mind, okay? And that can be scary because it can make you feel very ungrounded. It can make you feel imbalanced. It can make you feel scared, frustrated, angry, all of these things, because the ego is now it's threatened because it feels like it's not going to survive this ascension process. And it's right, it's not. It's not going to be intact. It's going to go through this identity crisis. And that's what we're feeling. So when we step into the truth of our soul, we can't bring the ego with us, right? The ego was a protective mechanism and barrier, and it was never designed for us to live from that space. So we really have to look at this from the perspective of the higher understanding, the higher consciousness, and understand that there are new possibilities being laid out in front of us. And the light is coming in, right, in the midst of it. I know we're going into winter, fall and winter here, which is absolutely, fall is my favorite time of year. And winter too, because of where I live. But I know that for some of you, winter is a dreaded season, but fall is generally cherished and loved by most people. There's just a magic in the air. And I know we're all looking forward to that here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I feel like, this is bringing this sense of everything is going to be okay, because this is a love that heals all. So all those dark corners and recesses of our minds and hearts and identities and being, this is all being healed, especially in regards to relationships, not just romantic, but our relationship with family, our relationship with friends, our relationship with ourself. This is all being examined and healed. Many people are putting down the armor, releasing the armor. A lot of my clients have divulged that they've lost a lot of physical weight recently because they're putting down the armor that has surrounded them for so long. And they're literally shedding pieces. They're shedding parts of themselves that it was just to protect themselves because of the trauma that had occurred in childhood. Many divine feminines, if not all divine feminines and divine masculines, although I'm always hesitant to say all, but many have gone through some sort of significant trauma, whether it was mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse. And maybe it was just that you weren't allowed to be yourself. Maybe you had a narcissistic type mother or father, or you lived in a very controlling environment. Maybe there were high expectations of you that you felt like you could never meet. Maybe you're just a starseed and you always felt like you were alone or different or misunderstood. And all of these things, right? All of these feelings, all of these realizations of, wow, this is what I've survived, this is what I've endured, this is what I've been through, have now led you to this place where it's starting to feel safe to open your heart, and you're trusting the journey of the heart. And even though it doesn't make sense to the mind, because the mind can envision a world where it's not in control, the heart is leading the way more and more every single day. So there's nothing to fear when you're living this heart-centered life. And I think that's really what we are beginning to deeply comprehend and understand on this planet. Now, we have Buddhi here. I want to talk about her for a minute. I want to talk about this concept. She's not a goddess, but I kind of identify this as the feminine energy. This is inner wisdom. This is intellect. You're now remembering who you are. This is why it feels like we've got this looking glass experience. It's an experience that we're moving through. And it's like, you may not be able to identify with what's happening. At least not in the way that you were able to identify with it before, because it looks different. It feels different. It is different. It carries a different vibration. So again, the things that would have resonated aren't resonating anymore. The people that you used to be able to just kind of kick back and, have a beer with, it's like suddenly alcohol doesn't agree with you, or those people don't agree with you anymore. And it's not that anyone's done anything wrong. It's more of a sense of you have grown. Okay, you're remembering your gifts and your talents. So this would be a great time to have a North Node and South Node reading with me. It's a 75-minute live reading. It's a phone call. You can ask any and all questions. I typically go over other aspects of your chart depending on what I see there. And I may also touch on the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction. And it won't be a full reading for that because that's a separate reading. But I might touch on that, especially if there's significance in the houses that occurred in for you. And we do pull cards for the reading as well. So it's really a beautiful session. And this would be a beautiful time because many people are remembering who they are at this time. You're getting the answers that you're seeking, realizing that they're located within you. You realize that life is it's not that we're learning, we're remembering who we are. It's a remembrance. So gifts and talents should be coming up for you at this time, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, watching. The things that you're going to remember things. Oh, I did that in a past lifetime. I was good at that. This is why a lot of people right now are ditching the 9 to 5. Okay, a lot of people are saying, no, I want to work from home. I want to work for myself. I don't want to have to go to work every day, 5 days a week and leave my family and leave my animals and leave my home that I, pay a mortgage on. I want to be able to spend time here and I want to feel creative. So this creativity, this higher goddess energy, the empress energy, the intuition is activated, okay? And what this is doing is it's helping us connect back to our roots. It's helping us to align. And this has been much needed, more so than we could ever have imagined. And this is also bringing us to a very peaceful place. Inner wisdom, right? Intellect. How do we gain that? By moving into the heart and out of the mind. There's a beautiful story being woven here. The cards have been telling a beautiful, immaculate story recently in all the readings that I'm doing, which is what's so inspiring to me because this story is the story of us. It's the story of the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So Ohas, it's an Ayurvedic principle and it represents well-being, wellness, health, peace, inner peace, and also patience. And Ohas it's this kind of inner glow. It's an inner glow that you have within that people are starting to notice. And one of the things that is really helping me that I'll share with you guys, I did a quick short on it this morning and I keep on forgetting to mention it, but I work with this amazing company. They contacted me a few months back and I started taking their products and then I stopped and I got busy and I've started taking it again regularly. It's Shilajit. It's a natural resin and it's sourced from ancient mountains and it's like a tar-like substance. It's very earthy and rich in flavor and character. And you can, they have honey sticks, they have just the resin itself. You can mix into, warm almond milk or tea or coffee. And it's full of minerals, fulvic acid, humic acid. It's full of antioxidants. It helps you recover after a workout. It helps you with endurance, mental focus, sleep, mood, and also muscle growth and building. I have noticed an extreme difference since I started taking it every single day with muscle growth and being able to lean out and tone. And I can't tell you guys, I wish I had a before and after. Because yes, of course I'm physically working, but this is also working for me. So I'm working with them, and I'll leave my code below. There is a 10% discount using Lunar 10, but I also can give you the website, my affiliate link. It's an incredible product. You guys know I don't work with many products, but those that I choose to work with, I really believe in. So that is really helping me with my OHAS, with my inner glow, because I feel better. I feel like your skin, right, is a huge organ, and it will reflect your inner health. And you're realizing, people are probably coming up to you saying, you're so peaceful, your demeanor and just your essence. And you're like, yeah, I know, and you're probably making changes in your dietary changes right now, lifestyle changes, because you're probably feeling really called to do that because you're stepping back into your true identity. And we're also stepping back into our true blueprint. It's, the blueprint of the soul. And that is another reading that I offer, that it's I don't really advertise it, but the blueprint reading. So we look into your blueprint and what it is that you're here to do, and what obstacles might be coming up, and what might be in your way or stopping you from being able to do that. And usually it's our own self, we're holding ourself back. It's usually not somebody else that's holding us back. So very, very interesting, right? That we are the ones really in charge of our health, our well-being, and we're in charge of our success and abundance. So really good time to work on yourself. Really good time to kind of lay to rest any longing or frustration you might be feeling towards the counterpart. Just a good time to put 100% of your focus on yourself inwardly right now, and continue growing and learning, relearning, if you will, or remembering. Garden of Venus, yes. Again, these are themes that are coming up both collectively and in my private readings. Rest and renewal, right? The Venusian energy is the feminine energy. This is connected to Ohas. This is connected to Anahata. This is connected to Booty. They're all connected. It's a theme here, guys. The theme is rest and renew yourself, revitalize yourself, regenerate yourself. This is not a time to be pushing yourself. I feel like next month we're going to have more energy. Right now, September, it's sort of like a 12th house energy. We're closing out cycles from summer. We're preparing to step into the autumn equinox, the fall season here in the Northern Hemisphere. And what this is doing is this is creating an environment for us to heal. It's creating a peaceful environment where all is well. This is also about greater self-acceptance. There's a big element here of self-love that's coming through, guys. Loving yourself, seeing your own beauty, seeing the beauty in your life, seeing the beauty in your surroundings. This would be a good time to perhaps buy yourself that blouse, or give yourself, a blowout or a haircut, or get your nails done, or I'm speaking to the females here, and just do something nice for yourself, right? Sign up for that class you've wanted to sign up for. It's a great time to be around water. It's a fabulous healing. It's a healer. Water is a healer. It's a great time to take baths. It's a great time to go to spas or mineral springs if you're lucky. I know we have them here where I live. So, take advantage of natural resources that are healing right now. Being in nature and grounding every day is going to be really beneficial. If you can, get your bare feet on the ground in some way and go outside and breathe the fresh air. Open your windows, if and when you're able to, because this is a return to pleasure. It's a return to love. It's a return to innocence, and that's what we're doing. We're returning to innocence here. It's like there's nothing for us to defend anymore. We don't have to defend. We don't have to prove. So we can put the sword away and we can just allow ourselves to relax and rest and know that we've returned home. Like this is the dwelling, the cave of your own heart that we are stepping into. Anahata, it's your own heart space, your own heart cave. Now, the thing about this is like there's no need for someone else to be present. This is, again, I feel like we're coming full circle with the self-love concept. And as we do that, we are ushering ourselves into this new era of understanding self, of admiring self, of seeing the beauty in self, and as we do that, you might notice your body is changing through self-acceptance. Your face might be changing right now through self-acceptance. Your face changes through this process. Your body changes through this process. From one day to the next, you may not recognize yourself. You can literally feel like you've put on 5 pounds of weight overnight, or 15 pounds. Your face can change. Wrinkles come, they go away. Your face will move, the bone structure will shift. I've seen it with my own face. At times you'll look like your counterpart. At times you might look like a brother or sister. At times you might look like a grandparent. At times or another ancestor. At times you might look like a soulmate. And eventually you're going to come into, again, your own natural blueprint. The one that is you. That identity that is truly, authentically you. Because that's where we're all moving towards. And so it's almost like there's going to be this, not a separation, but when you see your counterpart again, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel like I'm my own separate person, you're your own separate person. It's going to be healthier in that sense. Yes, you're still attached. It's still a part of your soul. It still is your soul. However, it's not going to be the same that it was before. It's not going to be that same there was a codependent element to that for a lot of the counterparts. So that is really shifting away at this time. So if you're weary, divine feminine, if you're weary and you're looking for the other, you're looking for the other self, you're looking for love, you're looking for a soulmate, and you just feel like, why can't I find this for myself? What is wrong with me? What have I done wrong? What do I need to be doing? All you need to do is stop. Leave that thought behind, right? Go into the heart space. You are everything that you need. Return to that space where you embrace yourself and you realize that it is me that I have been looking for. So the goddess of Venus is holding a mirror up to us and allowing us to see ourselves with all of our flaws, and actually to fall in love with our flaws. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay, guys, so, if you've been using the sword on yourself, it's time to put that away, put it to rest, put it to bed. You might be restless. My feminine kitty, Charlie, he is a male, but he's feminine, is walking around right now as I'm doing this reading, and very restless. So there is still that restless factor coming in here too with the looking glass. Fortune's wheel. Yes, this is coming up a lot as well. The wheel of fortune, luck and right timing. Luck is on your side. Things are turning in your favor. If it's felt like there's been a cycle and you've been stuck in it and it's felt heavy, maybe you've dreaded, maybe just kind of like that dreaded Groundhog Day where every day has felt like the last. I know summer can feel that way, especially if you're in a hot climate, a swampy hot climate. And this is just saying, you know what, things are actually shifting. I feel a big change and shift with the autumn equinox for the divine feminine. I feel a big shift for the masculines with winter season. Okay, so these things are shifting, things are changing. I think we'll see it more with the masculines in winter, more with the feminine energy. Apply this inwardly or outwardly, however you like, in the fall. So there is this reinvention of self. We are dusting ourselves off, remembering who we are, remembering why we came here. So if things are shifting right now, if your relationships are changing, if your desires are changing, if your wants and needs, this is like Venusian energy, your desires, your wants, your needs, like how you're physically showing up, your physical beauty, if you're cutting your hair, growing your hair, dyeing it a different color, changing your clothes, changing your environment, maybe you've had like a neutral colors, now you want a lot of color in your home, or vice versa. This is all part of the process, right? Enjoy this process of reinventing yourself and your space and living more from the heart, living more authentically divine feminine. It's what we came here to do. Interesting. Divine masculine energy embodying the horseman, herald of change. So both of you are changing. This is not just the feminine. Both counterparts are changing. And this also speaks of the horsemen historically. Yes, it can be cautionary, a cautionary measure, right? Like something is happening, something is wrong. But in this particular, with this particular card, I see only positive. I see the light shining through the darkness. I see that there is good news on the way. There's a message. The divine masculine is receiving a message that things are going to shift here. And it's like they needed that. So whatever seemed impossible for them, getting to you, for instance, having a real, relationship in the 3D, it seemed impossible before because of all the barriers and blockades that they have in their mind, because they had to get into their heart. That's it's literally being obliterated right now. And I think that the divine masculines are starting to put away the negativity. They're starting to put away that fatalistic attitude where nothing works out. Everything ends up, everything falls apart in the end, and I can't have what I want, and I should just settle, and nothing works out for me, and poor me, woe is me. They're like that fatalistic attitude where life is just suffering. They're starting to reorganize their thoughts. They're starting to come up with a different story, if you will. This is to me, this is signifying that this has been a long slumber, a long sleep, that they have not been, like, this has been a long time coming. They've been asleep at the wheel in many ways in their life, and they haven't really been paying attention. They've just been, doing, it's sort of like automatic, robotic is how they've been operating. And now they're going to start to really feel. They're going to start, does this feel good to me? Does having coffee in the morning really serve me? Does this hard, heavy workout, is this really helping me, or is this actually hurting me? Is this relationship aligned with my true values and my heart, not my mind or not my penis for the male masculines, but is this aligned with my heart? Is this aligned with what I want for myself? So very, very interesting. This is the announcement of a more peaceful time. So more peace coming in for both counterparts. And there's a substance. There's a substance that is coming through for the masculines, which I think we were lacking for a while. They were living from a shallow place. They were living in the shallows, whereas the feminine was living in the depths of the ocean. The feminine, the depths of her spirituality. The feminine energy is chaotic. It's chaotic beauty. The feminine energy is not contained. The feminine energy represented by the moon, the masculine energy represented by the sun. The feminine energy goes through is constantly changing. The sun, the masculine energy, is constant. It's like spirit. But the feminine energy constantly changing. Every day the moon changes phases. Even if it's slight and we can't see it with our own two eyes, it's changing, it's shifting. It's never the same. We have full moons and new moons, sometimes more than one throughout 1 month, one monthly cycle. The lunar cycle, lunacy, lunatic, all of this comes from this energy that the moon cannot be contained. And this is why the unhealed masculine is frightened and scared of the feminine, and why they run, because I can't control her or him. I can't control this energy. It's uncontainable. This is an energy that's wild and free. It is like the wild stallion, the divine feminine. You cannot contain me. You cannot chain me. I will not be caged. And the divine masculine, rather, with, let's say, a karmic energy, karmic partner, they can control. because ultimately they know you're not going to break my heart because you don't have my heart. My feminine has my heart. You couldn't possibly break my heart. You could, I could be hurt. You could break my expectations. You could lie to me. You could cheat on me and that would hurt, but you're not going to break my heart because you don't have my heart and you never did. So it's safe with the karmic partner. It is safe for the masculine. Why? Because they haven't fully given themselves over to that person. The feminine is the owner of the masculine's heart. I don't care what social media tells you. Social media is a lie. Okay? It's highlight reel. It's what people want you to see. It's what people want you to believe. It's what they themselves want to believe. I'm not saying that there's no good that can come from social media. I'm talking about, generally speaking, when it comes to the connection and when it comes to peeking in on your counterpart or the karmic partner, don't do it, because you're going to see what you don't want to see. And your mind will tell you a story that, oh, they're really happier with that person. And look, they seem so happy. They seem so, well, I don't know, whatever. They're having the best life ever. Nope. It's a lie. It's an illusion. We have to be very careful. The internet and, there is the dark web. It's called the dark web for a reason. So yes, good things have come, communication, being able to tie the world together, but there is a lot of evil that has also come with the internet, the interwebs, and social media. So we need to be very discerning more than ever at this time. Let's get an energy here for the union connective energy. Getting back to integrity. And so an opportunity is arising here. We see this with horsemen. There's an opportunity. And with the fortune's wheel, an opportunity is arising within these connections for the counterparts to come back to center, to get back to integrity where they've been lost. And I feel this very much for the masculines, where they've been living unaligned, misaligned, if you will. There's this opportunity for them to find themselves. There's an opportunity for the feminine as well, where you're trusting your intuition. I talk about the inner GPS a lot, your inner soul compass. Not relying, looking through this looking glass and seeing that the whole world looks crazy. If the world's gone crazy, now the world was always crazy. We were just crazy with it. So now we've started to find our sanity, but now we're looked at as the misfits, the crazy ones, the artists, the rebels. Yes, we are all of those things, starseeds, because we're disrupting. We have Uranus energy we're embodying. We're disrupting the element. We're disrupting the system. It was always meant to be disrupted. It was never supposed to be this. It wasn't supposed to go on for this long. The separation of the masculine and feminine was never supposed to be for this long. Dating back to Atlantis and Lemuria. We were supposed to have figured it out, so to speak, before now. But now, this is the opportunity. This is how it's played out. That distorted masculine that energy was never supposed to be in power for as long as it's been. So both of you are starting to arrive, find your way back home, find your way back to center, using your intuition. And, again, and I've said this in many recent readings, rely on your own self, rely on your own intuition, rely on your own guidance, your own divine wisdom and insight, your blueprint. So this is telling you that a lot of you might be new to my channel, right? What happens on this journey is we find teachers and we align with those teachers for a period of time, and then we might go off and find a new teacher. And this is for all of us. So if something is aligned, flow with it. If it doesn't feel aligned at this time, step away from it. Honor your heart. Honor that. That's integrity. And this is absolutely you know, about like we had to lose our bearings. It's been a blessing for us because we had to lose our bearings to find ourselves again. This is about that true north. Again, a great opportunity to refocus, reorganize, reinvent, all of those re's, right? Reflect, recenter, all of those things are really, really called for at this time. And it's a beautiful opportunity for the counterparts to see one another through a transformative experience. There's something transformative. It's like the way in which you guys would respond to each other, that conditioned response to not just life, but to each other has changed. And it's changing because you both got lost. You had to find your way back to center. You had to find your truth and really speak the truth, embody the truth, forgive yourselves, forgive one another, forgive others in your life, right? Your parents and your ancestors and so on and so forth. And you've done a lot of that work already. And now you're avoiding drama, okay? This feline energy is very confident. The feline energy is very much feminine, untouchable, but it's chaotic. You never know what to expect. Your kitten will attack you, and then the next minute they're licking you, right? They're also very much in the moment. If you've ever watched a cat, it's beautiful to watch. They're pouncing on prey, and they're so absorbed in that moment that they cannot be distracted. The true feminine, when she's absorbed in something, when she's really connected to her heart center and she's operating from this place of peace, embodying the Bodhi energy, she cannot be distracted from her path, not even by the masculine, unless it is the healed masculine. And even then she says, you will wait for me while I finish what I need to finish here. She does not allow external forces and anything outside of herself to take her away from what it is that she's doing, what it is that's important to her. So this feline energy comes through and says, you know, disengage from other people's drama and the people in your life that are not aligning with your path any longer. You're the witness of the story. And you will take action just like a cat will take action. You can't force a cat to sit on your lap. You can't force a cat. It's not a dog. You can't force a cat to come to you. They know their name and they'll listen. Their ears will go back, but it doesn't mean they're going to come running to you. They will come. They will ask for attention when they want it. So the embodiment of that feline energy, you will act when it's right for you, when the timing is right for you. I feel like both of you, again, coming back to center, finding one another in this new place, this new space, very, very healthy for the connection, very healthy for both of you. You're not going to go back to that place where there was codependent behavior on either of your parts. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for my moderators. Thank you to my moderators, as always. Thank you to each of you for your wonderful and inspiring comments and sharing and vulnerability. I'm sending you all a lot of love. Do not forget to protect yourself right now, that energetic armor as we go out there in the world amidst all of these fluctuations and changes. I look forward to meeting some of you and working with you, and take very good care of yourself. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.